Everybody, Courtney Morse, Natural Wellness Physiotherapy. Today we're going to talk about sometimes getting some of this tingling sensation that we have down our arms. I've had so many different patients that have gone through here and they've had a carpal tunnel release and have never really resolved their problem. A lot of times when we get those nerve sensation, we want to be able to check, both in the carpal tunnel itself, between these two bones here, but we also want to check up and downstream here. So many times, I think a lot of that stuff would have been resolved with a little bit of nerve gliding, in particular with the median nerve. So I'm going to show you a couple of these different things. So if you're experiencing some of that stuff down the arm, a couple good ways that we can practice this. Now on our nerve glides, it's important for us to know, just like when we were doing sciatic nerve glides or anything else, is that if we do too many of these, we will absolutely irritate the tissue. If we do, our goal initially is to maybe do a set of 15 or 20 of these, maybe once or twice a day. And we're going to progressively build up upon that. If you don't have any symptoms with it, then keep on going. Maybe add 5 or 10 of these progressively over the course of the next few weeks or so. But the goal is to ultimately get to be able to do 30 or 40 of these a couple times a day and still not have any of these kind of sensations or irritation. So the one that I like the most is a median nerve glide. And I like to do a closed chain. I like to use the wall here. And so what I will do, and you can see it by this big greasy handprint on this wall, is that I do this one quite a bit with my clients. And so what we will do is we're going to start in this in our flex position. Right here, the nerve is on slack. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this elbow out straight. Now if I have some nerve tension in through here, I will feel this going right through the middle part of my forearm down into my fingertips. Now, if you don't notice this one in through here, so again, you're shooting for maybe 15 of these or so. If you're not noticing any of those symptoms, what you can do is you can add a little bit of increased tension. Side bend here a little bit, and all that sensation that we're going for is just this little zing. And it's going to shoot down your forearm here a little bit. Pause there for a second, and slide this thing back and forth for a little bit of time. Trying to elongate that nerve tissue. We're doing what's called flossing. And that nerve runs down between some channels in between your muscles, so it needs to be elongated as well too. The other one that we get less often is through our cubital tunnel, which is our ulnar nerve. This is the one when you hit your funny bone that zings your pinky and half of your finger here too. And the one that works best for this, I feel like, is we kind of elevate this hand in this position. Now we've got some nice nerve traction on here, and then what we're going to do is I either tell people to pretend you're pouring water down your back, and all we're doing is we're creating some of this tension in through here. Or of course, my personal favorite is, you kind of make this like Batman mask, which is really fun, but it's also like a pretty effective version of that ulnar nerve glide. So if you are having some symptoms that are trickling down your hand, check upstream and downstream, add some of these nerve glides to your mix, and see if it doesn't help out your problem. If you have questions, let us know. Drop those in the comments below. Until next time, Courtney Morse, Natural Wellness Physiotherapy.